Coach Justice, thank you very much for your time. Disappointing 4-1 loss here. What were your thoughts on the game?
Poor performance. Performance from the start of the game. I think we were not ready, we were not switched on, but we tried to change certain things second half. We tried to look better second half. We missed a lot of chances second half. We were not clinical second half. Well, I give it to the opponents in the first half, because they created chances. We also created chances, but we didn't combine too well in my liking, particularly in the final third, because we tried something new for us that will suit the pitch, because the pitch is not how we play as Black Poison, but we tried something new, and we were allowed at least to be in that space in the final third. We should have taken our chances, but it's part of the game.
Coach, we know Black Poison, the way they play, they dominate possession. Patterns are very clear. You can just see that this is Black Poison playing.
True.
But today we didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
We didn't see the combination play that Black Poison is known of.
Yeah.
We didn't see the controlling of the game, dominating position that we know Black Poison can do. What is it that you think went wrong today? And like you mentioned, you tried to adapt to the pitch. What did you change in terms of your style of play?
Our style of play, like rightfully saying, is dominance of possession, but due to the pitch conditions, we can't play like that because it creates a lot of mistakes. Players are scared to make mistakes based on what they believe, based on what they know. So it's difficult to play that positional play like Black Poison. But however, we also have to learn, because these boys are in a competitive stage. Under 20 is a competitive stage. Now, should they play in other African countries where the pitch is not suitable to the style of play, what are they going to do? They must start learning now that not every time a style of play will suit you. Your style of play will be compromised sometimes by the opponent or by the pitch. So today we had to acclimatize to the pitch more than the style of play, But it's a learning curve for us. It's a learning curve. We've learned a lot of things. Even that also gave us a lot of box entries after we've changed and acclimatized to the pitch. So we got box entries. We just that we didn't take our chances. So we learn every day. And only few things that we need to settle down, have coaching points with the boys, and communicate better, learn from each other so that we can move on.
Coach, towards the end of the game, you removed one player and didn't put on a substitute.
Yes.
What was that about?
Yeah, you see, sometimes players behave in a certain way in the field of play because there's another player. So if you remove that player, and we were one man down on purpose, one, the opponents didn't score, two, we started to play, three, we started to create more chances with one man down. So you could see it's just a psychological effect, and it will also help us in future. Should we get the red card, how are we going to perform? So these are the learning curves for us as a team to say, should we get a red card? Should we get 2 red cards? How are we going to perform? So it assisted us psychologically. Even after the game, the players were aware that we were one man down, and it worked for us psychologically.
Psychologically, I agree. I think not that you did well because the score was already 4-1, but there was some improvement in how you played with the men down.
True.
But on the other side, there's the psychological impact now on the individual player that was removed and the player who's sitting on the bench who's hoping that he'll get an opportunity. But the player gets removed and they still do not get an opportunity. How do you then deal with that?
Yeah, the last player that we had on the bench, he's a small boy. Now, you can't temper his growth in terms of putting him under a lot of pressure based on that situation. The player that was removed had to be accountable and be responsible, because it is very important. In Black Poison, we believe that one should be responsible for their actions and one should be accountable for their actions. So the last bond that we had was not supposed to play under pressure, and we've collectively agreed as a club that the last bond should get a fair chance when the time is right. We should never ever destroy a player's character, and he understood that. Even after the game, after the team talk, he did agree that never he was not going to play. He wanted a fair chance, because no one should mess up in the system and allow a small boy to fix that. No.
Last one, coach. You spent, I think, about close to 30 minutes the post-match meeting that you had.
Yeah.
And I overheard some of the words mentioned, that was constantly mentioned, that DNA of Black Poison. What message were you driving through to these boys?
The DNA of Black Poison is simple. Do your best to win the game. No coach can guarantee you the results of the game, but a coach can guarantee you a performance of players. So, as Black Poison, this is what we believe. We believe that you must work hard for the badge. You must work hard for each other. You must be there in the field of play for each other, because it is very important to remember Black Poison, it's a family. So in the field of play, whether you win or lose, you must work hard for each other. So the message that we are preaching to players is after the game is work hard for each other. Make sure that you represent Black Poison very well by being there for each other.
Coach, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
And all the best going forward.
Thank you so much.